Hey everybody, welcome. As you probably know, I've been working the last 2 months on a book called Radical Brilliance, which actually I'm extremely excited about this book. The subtitle is How and Why People Have Life-Changing Ideas. And it's really about that, about why is it that brilliance really radiates through some people so magnificently and allows them to make such a huge contribution to the rest of the world. So in writing this book, which has been really a blast, I've been getting up every day at 4:30 to do this. Many people have influenced me, and one of the chapters of the book, one of the focus of the book, is about mentoring and coaching. That actually we are all of us most brilliant, including me. We all of us are at our best when we have someone cheering us on, pointing out where we may be falling asleep, celebrating our victories. When we have someone to really see us in our best light, we make our biggest contribution. And I believe that the person on the planet right now, on the whole planet of 7 billion people, I firmly believe that the very best person for coaching and mentoring alive today is a man called Dave Ellis. And I actually got to know him quite well. Some of you, if you lived in America, you almost certainly when you went to university, you got this book called How to Become a Master Student. Everybody got that book at university, and he actually wrote that book 20-something years ago. Anyway, I've got him live on the call, on the line today. I actually have gotten to know Dave quite well because I'm in the good, very fortunate position of being in a men's group with him. And he's one of those people where you read his stuff and it's brilliant, and then you meet the guy and he's way more brilliant even than what he writes. So welcome, Dave Ellis.
Wow, thanks, Arjuna. What a great introduction. And one of the things you said is that through coaching and through collaboration, that we won't fall asleep. And that's why I titled my newest book, Falling Awake, because I think that falling awake is actually darn near as easy as falling asleep if we do it in collaboration. And then if we do it with people that can really coach us to wake up and accomplish what we really want to do. So,
and you do that particularly brilliantly well, maybe more than anybody I know. I mean, for example, I know that you coached Muhammad Yunus, who is best known for winning a Nobel Prize for microloans, for creating microloans. I know that you've coached Lynn Twist, the founder of the Pachamama Alliance, famous for her efforts to alleviate world hunger. I know you've coached NBA football coaches. I know that you've coached the CEOs of some of the biggest non-profit organizations in the world. I mean, you really have, it's not just that you coach people well. I know that you've coached a lot of people who've made an incredible difference to the world. So I wanted to ask you, because you really are the master coach of master coaches, I'd like to ask you, what criteria would you recommend somebody to use in selecting the very best coach for them?
well, first of all, I think it's great that you point out that I've coached a lot of people, and I have, and some of those are those famous people, and I also coach people that are struggling either with their money or their relationship or their finance. I give away a lot of coaching. I've sold a lot of coaching. And what I think when people look for a coach is to look for somebody that really has confidence in them. Because when I'm working with somebody, either starting to work with them or actually doing it, I don't do it unless I feel confident in them. And then if I lose my confidence in them, then I somehow assist them to find another coach. So I just want to elaborate on my answer a little, because the second part of the answer is somebody that allows you to think, helps you think, really even helps you think what you never thought, to be creative, imaginative, and does not give you a lot of advice. Because I think that if you walk away from a coaching session and you think your coach is brilliant, that the coach probably made a mistake.
Mhm.
because what I want is for you to walk away knowing that you're brilliant.
Nice, nice distinction. One of the extraordinary things that I discovered about you earlier on, when we first got to know each other, is you've been really helping people in this way, really coaching amazing people. And for a long time, you actually worked hard and showed up every day without actually receiving any money for yourself at all. I know you had the Brand Foundation, where the money people paid you for coaching would go into a foundation that benefited worthy causes. And you actually, for a long time, you worked without receiving any personal income. Tell me a little bit about that decision to work for free for so long.
Well, I still do. I
Mm.
still work full time. I still don't take any salary or bonuses or benefits. I've got a beautiful office here and my work pays for that. But other than that, I just decided after I made so much money selling books and offering courses that I wanted to experiment. And I started that about 25 years ago. Just coming to work, doing my very best, serving people the most I can, and doing it without financial benefit. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with financial benefit. I've helped people double and triple their income. And that's great for me to help somebody do that. So they might even have some of that extra money to give away or to be extraordinarily generous with. But I just decided to see what would happen if a guy who didn't have to make money spent less than maybe I would have otherwise, so I could work for the rest of my life without being paid.
It's actually pretty inspiring and pretty unusual. And knowing you now for about 10 years, it's remarkable to me that you do, at least all the people I've seen you around, you seem to have tremendous confidence and faith in everybody that you interact with. You seem to see the best in people. And it's actually pretty marvelous to me that you do that without any personal self-interest. The other amazing thing that I've discovered about you that I'd really like to hear you comment on is, at one point you gave me a lot of very incredibly useful insight and information about money. Not so much how to make loads of money, but how to actually have peace and ease and flow with money. And you made it incredibly simple. I think you probably have the greatest clarity around money than of anybody I've known. But when you gave me all this information, you said, look, I'll give this to you, but the condition is you must pass it on to other people without giving me credit, right? In other words, take this take it from me, use it, make it your own, and don't give me credit, which is exactly the opposite of what most people do. Most people will say, this is my stuff. If you use it, you have to give me credit. So tell me a little bit about your reason for not wanting credit when you pass things on to people.
Well, because I want anything you learn when we work together, whether it's something I teach or something you discover, to be yours to use. It's why I do the work. It's so people like you, I know you teach a lot. I know you coach a lot. Just like me, you have a coach training school. I did. I don't anymore. I still do train coaches. And I just want that information out there. And I don't want people to somehow feel that they've got to say, well, I got this from Dave Ellis, or this is what Dave Ellis says, or I just don't want intellectual property rights to what I'm teaching or what I'm facilitating. Because as you know, when I teach, I don't lecture much. Mostly I assist people through exercises, through very short lecturettes, and through individual discussion, through one-on-one coaching. So I just don't want people to feel like, oh, what's his, what's mine? Anything you learn from me, I do want you to give it away if it works. Now, of course, if it doesn't work, then I want you to not use it.
Dave, I'm going to be 60 this year, and I really thought that I was done with taking workshops, joining seminars, the whole thing. I really thought, whatever there is to learn and imbibe and transform, goodness knows I've been at it long enough. And I didn't expect to ever do any kind of group situation again. And actually, as you probably know, I have recently registered for your 9-month program. And the reason I'm going to do that is I feel you have such a clarity around supporting people to make a difference, supporting people to have clarity around money, which means not coming from greed, but also not coming from lack, that I've actually committed to asking you to guide me for 9 months. And I'm going to be in your Falling Awake intensive, which is mostly online and also has some weekends. And I'm not getting paid to say this right now in any way, but I actually want to encourage other people to do the same. So tell us a little bit about this intensive that I'm going to be doing with you.
Well, it's 9 months because I think to really make major changes, which is what I know you're committed to, it's what I'm committed to, that it takes many, many months. For most people, what I see is huge improvement within 3 to 4 months, and then several months to make certain that that improvement doesn't disappear. And whatever improvement they want. Some people, what they want to focus on is money. For some people, they want to focus on improving their relationship, some their health, some their spiritual development. So we look at all those areas, and what I'm committed to is assisting people to make lasting changes that that make a life-altering difference. Now, some people, 9 months is too long, and I so appreciate, Arjuna, that particularly someone who has done as much work as you have will join me for 9 months. But we also have a Falling Awake workshop, and people can just come for a weekend, because a lot of times people, they don't know me as well as you do, so they're not going to want to commit a whole 9 months. But some do. Some just do it because somebody like you recommends it. And then some people just want to come to a workshop and sort of check it out. So we've got that too.
Well, I'm certainly excited. I know that one of the primary reports that people give from working with you is they really get a transformed and a deep clarity about money and their relationship of contributing and taking care of business. And that's particularly an area that I'm interested. I know that you've got such a unique and kind of visionary perspective on that. That's something I'm very excited to learn from you. So thanks for taking the time today, Dave. And for everybody else, I really recommend you go to daveellisleadership.com. Go have a look at this program. As Dave said, you can take the weekend in March. You can join the whole course. I'm suggesting you do this because I'm doing it, and I think it's something that really people need to know about. Dave's not paying me to say this. I'm saying it because I want to say it, and I hope you'll really consider that this is a pretty unusual opportunity to get coached by the man who coaches the truly great contributors in today's world.
Thanks, Arjuna. It's been good to talk to you, and I'd love to hear more from the people that you know.
Great.